The Flash issue 83 sees Captain Cold instill his will across Central City, forcing the people to bow to him and call him King Cold. Cold knows his true prize, however, is the Flash, who has been locked up powerless in Ice Heights. Flash tries to free himself from his chains but cannot, annoying the Trickster who is in the cell next door, who tells him to knock it off. Trickster is unhappy his perfect life before the sky went black was interrupted by Cold, since Trickster beat the Flash and Cold didn't very much like that, causing him to put the villain in a prison. Outside, the guards are taken out and Flash's prison door is breached by Golden Glider, who frees the hero. Glider says that they need to do this quietly and vibrate through the walls, but Barry has an inhibitor collar on. Glider knows that sliding it off would kill him, so she changes her plans, blowing her way out of the cell block. Barry wants to free the other prisoners, but they are confronted by 3 ice robots. Glider is forced to defend the powerless Barry, using her phasing powers to distract the robots into smashing into the walls, creating an escape route for them. Barry finds it colder outside than inside and is shocked to see the symbol of doom looming over the city. Barry learns that time shattered thanks to Lex Luthor and it's the end of the world. He wonders why Glider is helping him and learns Glider loves her brother, and sometimes you have to hurt the ones you love when they make a big mistake, and Flash will help her with that by making everyone know the Flash still lives. Cold meanwhile remembers the day the sky went dark and how he battled the Flash, but he finally won and killed the Flash, making Central City his. Chambers rushes in, telling them of a breach in the lower levels, learning Cell 8 was breached. He demands to know who broke in, realizing it was his sister Lisa. He heads to the mirror wall, using its power to set a group of wolves on his sister. Out in the city, Flash finds the people living in the streets, barely surviving the ice. Glider says that she needs to get Flash to safety so they can figure out a plan, but Flash won't leave the city though, saying that he needs to get back to Ice Heights and to fight Captain Cold, powers or no powers. Glider binds him in her ribbons, saying that she can't allow him to do that since Leonard will kill him. He wants to know why the rogues care so much about him as Wallace and Avery arrive, reunited with their friend and mentor. Wallace isn't too happy to see Lisa there, but she says that she freed Flash and she was bringing him to see them as a sign of trust. Flash gets them to stop arguing, telling Wallace that he believes in Glider. Barry wants to know what happened since he only remembers being in the Speedforce but then waking up in a cold cell. Wallace says that the same happened to them as well since they were beaten by the rogues and the next thing they knew the city was covered in ice and Cold had an army. Glider says that the rogues used the doom symbol's panic to steal the city away. To fix it, they need to find all of the Mirror Master mirrors since the pieces are scattered across the city, each in the possession of a rogue. The Speedsters wonder how they will do this without their powers, and Glider says that she brought them to Barry so they could get his collar off, but the heroes tell him not to as the Ice Wolves arrive, attacking the group. Glider knows that she can fight them off, but her brother's ice powers grow strong. One of the wolves pins Barry down, but Glider rescues him, saying that if only there was a Speedster there to help them. Barry tells her to remove his collar, and upon ripping it off, the streets explode, killing the wolves as Barry is flung through time and space, returning as Wallace puts the collar back on him, telling him that he can't take off the inhibitor collar since they cannot use the Speedforce ever again, as it is too dangerous. The Flash issue 83 continued the Rogue's reign in a really fun and creative way as we see more of the ice-covered Central City and Captain Cold. I really enjoyed seeing what happened to Flash and how Cold lied to everyone about his death and what Luthor promised the Rogues, not telling them about how the world was going to end either. Leonard's characterization is lots of fun to watch explode over the pages, and I love that it's turned the Rogues against him. Flash unable to use the Speedforce or the Speedforce being shattered is really cool, and it will be interesting to see how Barry relearns his powers or goes about being a hero without them. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10.